My name again, Tim Root. I'm the GM of the group collaboration products. So anything in the conference room is kind of in my space. We'll talk about UC, Unified Communications. This is changing a lot. You go back 10 years, particularly around video, it was a 3-horse race, Huawei, Cisco, Polycom. You got everything from the companies. You got everything from the microphones all the way to the infrastructure to do management, to do media processing. It was an all one flavor, digested, standards-based. UC is now moving to the cloud. It's becoming much more web-like. WebRTC was a big driver in that. You're also starting to see different players in this market now. You're seeing Microsoft get much more aggressive with Teams going to the cloud. Google's in it, Amazon, Facebook. Cisco's moving to WebEx into the cloud. So the transformation is significant. It's no longer a on-prem, large institution-only solution for video. It's really taking the IP-PBX, which is your telephony, traditional telephony, Metaswitch, BroadSoft. It's taking your UCaaS solutions, which was, IMing, a lot of content sharing, and it's taken your video as a service. So that's about last 5 years, the vast market with Zoom has really driven video into the mainstream. All three of those are gonna become a single solution. You're gonna start to see a merging of all that technology, all cloud-based. And the driver, a lot of the driver is the millennials coming into the market space. They're looking for platforms that can deliver more than just individual applications, individual items. They want a more flexible single solution or multi-solution into their work streams. And they're more tech savvy, right? They're grown up, they've been using smartphones, they're more capable of digesting these applications and shifting applications more rapidly into their work mode. And all of this is really being driven by your new networks, which are much faster, the speed of the networks to the home, allowing people to work in different places, and also the processors. The processors in your smartphones are being driven into the appliances. Your PCs are much faster. Your server capabilities are much faster, so that you don't need as much customized hardware, software solutions to deliver these products. You can leverage more standard-based software development techniques in high-powered servers to give infrastructures that will scale. All that's coming together. It's really a storm that's driven an enormous transition in what's happening with UC. So, interesting survey. So, right today, IT vendors are saying, IT managers are saying, individuals are using up to 3 or 4 or more different applications for UC in a given day. So it's a Teams call at 9 o'clock, it's a Zoom call at 1 o'clock, it's a WebEx call at 2 o'clock, and maybe it's log me in, go to meeting at 5, right? It's constantly changing. So the model that was going on a long time and is still in the telephony is standards. What has changed, and what's the biggest challenge, is all of these UC applications are non-standard. They're all proprietary. So the ability to do transformations in between different calls is very difficult. So if you're on a Teams call, you pretty much got to use a Teams app. If you're on a WebEx call, you pretty much got to use a WebEx app. The infrastructure to make those two gateways are there, but you lose features. So there's a big demand to go native with this new technology. The beauty is it enables end users and your employees to be anywhere because it is web-based. So now you do not need to have everybody come into the office. You can have diversified employees, get the best employee, put them wherever they need to be. That has also driven the transformation of the huddle room, which is when everybody was coming into the office, you needed to have big conference rooms to support all these employees in a single meeting. But now if half of the employees are working from home or in other locations, the reality is you need a lot of small rooms because you still have these meetings going on, but now you have to divide these spaces because you may only have 3 people that are in the office and you have 4 people that are remote. So you have many more 3 to 5 person offices for quick ad hoc meetings to keep everybody communicating on a regular basis. It's truly changing, this technology is changing the way people are working, much more flexible, but also changing the environments that the work environment to support this new model. Some interesting stats. Today, only 4.8% of meeting rooms have video, right? Very small penetration. Most of that's large enterprise or verticals or education, healthcare, people that would be willing to invest hundreds of thousands of dollars in the infrastructure to get started. By 2023, the prediction is 12% to almost 70% of your conference rooms. 70% of your conference rooms will have video from 4. Massive transformation. And what's driving that is this UC combining of the application and the technology price points coming down and having it cloud-based. You don't need this massive infrastructure to get up and running. So SMB is starting to embrace UC. Large enterprises are saying, hey, we're not going to have a $2 million knock anymore. We're just going to go and use it in the cloud. And Microsoft is mandating Teams cloud only. Skype for Business is going away, forcing the change for a large enterprise. Video conferencing market, $13.8 billion, 5 years. Just an explosion of the transition in this space. 25% enterprise meetings will take place all in person, down from 60% today. Huge transition in how people are working, driven by the technology that's available. Doesn't mean the challenges are gone. The technology still has some challenges. As I said, the fact that there is no standard with these applications, the ability for users to understand, I got to walk into a room, am I using Teams or am I using GoToMeeting, right? Which app am I using right now? So there'll be things that Paulie is starting to work on with these partners is how can I make a unified experience of walk-in? One of the ways, calendar-based. One touch dial. Walk in, there's a controller on the table, 1 o'clock, that's my meeting, boom, the meeting pulls up whatever the right application is and connects up to that infrastructure, connects into the call. Other technologies. I have my smartphone, I walk in, I pair it with the controller in the room, it knows who I am, I now own the room. The room then initiates a meeting that I have on my calendar personally, rather than the room. So there's a variety of different techniques that are being leveraged, that are coming into play to simplify the starting of the meetings and simplify the ad hoc model of the experience. So the focus, so this is the stuff that Paulie does really well. The fans will still kick on to boil the air conditioning or the heat. That's not going to change. A lot of rooms getting glass. Glass is not good for sound. Doesn't absorb sound very good. You're going to have reflectivity. You're going to have very difficult echo. How are you going to handle that? Also, with glass, you got people walking by. It's distracting. Looking at those environments in the conference room, looking at the home, dogs are barking in the background, the mailman just showed up, all kinds of noise. All of you guys, I think, have experienced it with this kind of a work environment. How to get rid of that, how to figure out how to use that. We talked about, IBM talked about AI. So we're working on AI algorithms to be able to identify it's a dog barking and actually eliminate that from the call. People clicking on keyboards, sitting in a conference table. Get rid of that noise. So we're coming out with all kinds of enhancements to improve the experience. Another thing we're working on is AI in the cloud. So one of the things I constantly hear from IT managers is, my CFO is telling me, what's the efficiency of my space? You have a lot of conference rooms. How do I know they're being utilized? Because it's expensive. It's expensive space. So we're implementing in our next generation of products the ability to count how many people are in the room, count the chairs in the room, give you a ratio of your effectiveness in those spaces. And we'll be doing more and more of that. We just announced at ISC this week what we're calling our lens, to give the IT managers visibility into the space, and we'll collect this data and then expose it to you so you can see how to run your conference rooms as your business and what the effectiveness is, on and off calls. Because with the cameras now at 120-degree field of view, you can see the room all the time. So it's always available. So let me talk a little bit about Poly, as it's a relatively new name. Poly was the combination of Plantronics with the headset business and Polycom with the video conferencing and speakerphone business. The two companies combined a little over a year ago and rebranded themselves Poly. What that has allowed Poly to be is the communication devices for every possible room you would ever want to leverage. Our headset business can cover anything from call centers all the way through to individuals. We have USB speakerphones, we have video conferencing systems, we have desktop phones, we have the traditional Polycom speakerphone everybody knows. You name it, we have a device for the room to get you the media capture that you need. Here's a quick snapshot of all the different products that we're coming out with right now. These are all developed in the last year. It's a full portfolio of solutions. This is where what we're also doing with this new architecture is we've created what we call the Poly OS. So they're appliance-based solutions that allow us to run native Zoom application on our appliance. So prior to this product from Poly that we just announced at Zoomtopia, the only solution you could run Zoom on was a PC or a Mac. We worked with Zoom, we partnered with them. Now you have an appliance solution, everything inside, all you need to run that. Oh, and by the way, who else showed up? Microsoft. So Teams is also going to be an application on this hardware. And I can tell you many, many more in the pipeline. So what we're going to have is you no longer need to put a PC or Mac in the room. All you need is this one appliance that you can run the native application on for Zoom, for Teams, for ABCD, a whole array of more partners coming. It's going to be a big change to the market and the ability to deploy in thousands of units. So let me talk some more about the portfolio. Again, Plantronics side of the business, headsets. We just celebrated our 50th year in the market. Many people probably don't know this, but when Neil Armstrong landed on the moon, that first moonwalk, and not Michael Jackson for the younger folks, this is Neil Armstrong, he was using a Plantronics headset. That's how far back the technology goes. So we have so we have a big line of decked headsets, big line of Bluetooth, big line of plug-in contact center as well. We are the #1 player in the headset business. So if you don't know our products, absolutely come by the booth. We got a whole set of new stuff. Brand new Poly Trio speakerphone. This is our low end that we just introduced a few months ago, replacing what is the SoundStation IP 5000, 6000 product line, targeted for really that ITSP, IT service provider, lower end, lower price point, smaller room, outstanding technology, leveraging our Trio 8500, 8800, just scaling it down to a more digestible price point, but still great performance. Our CCX line of desktop phones run Teams native. So this is a family we just brought out in December. The full line, everything from your regular worker all the way up through your admin phone, but natively running the Teams application, which is part of that PolyOS strategy. We will digest their applications and run them natively on our hardware and partner with those players. This is a cool product we came out with, the Poly Alara, which is a chargeable phone where you can take your cell phone, pair it with the dialer or the headset, and use it on your desktop. So it has a wireless charging base. It has all the functionality of the app from your phone can pair to the headset or the dialer. All right, getting into the video a little bit here. So Poly Studio X50, which we just announced, and this is the little brother, which is the Poly Studio X30. This is what I talked about. This natively runs Zoom. All you need is this product with the touch dialer, which is the TC8. That's all you need in your conference rooms. It will also natively run Microsoft Teams. No longer need a PC, no longer need any other additional processing. This and your TC8. That's all you need to do video conferencing with the partners, using the partner's app of choice. This is 15 feet mic pickup, outstanding audio performance, 120-degree field of view lens, just everything you'd be looking for in a video system. Here's our higher end for the higher end rooms. This is our USB version of the device, so a lower price point. If you did want to tie it into some processing or a BYOD solution, I want to bring my laptop in, I just want to plug USB in, this is the product you would use. Some of the productivity we're doing. So framing, we're trying to take the user out of the experience, make it seamless. So auto framing, auto pickup on the audio, using these 120-degree field of view, bring the workflow into the far end, but making the room itself simple to experience. Got a couple videos. Let me show you this.
Let's take a look at Poly's next generation group framing and speaker tracking experiences that are part of Poly Meeting AI. So I've got group framing turned on one of our Poly solutions. Now I'm the only one in the room, so I'm the only one being seen. But once my colleagues Bob and Joe come into the space, then you'll see how the camera will automatically sense that and readjust its view to show all three of us at the same time. So now we've enabled speaker tracking. So even though Bob and Joe are still in the room with me, the camera's focused on me because I'm the one actively talking.
But when I begin to speak, the camera's going to make a quick cut to myself and put me right smack dab in the center of the screen.
And then if I start speaking, because I'm a bit closer to Bob, the camera's going to nice and gently ease up to me and frame me in the center.
So that's one really important point of this next generation experience is it's changing different things in different ways depending on where people are located and the dynamics of the conversation. Like if I toss it back to Joe.
If I start speaking again from the other side, you'll notice that the system has recognized that Brian and I are in a conversation and has gone into conversation mode.
So it's got a lot more intelligence to understand the dynamics of the conversation and where people are to always present the best view and change in the best way depending on what's going on. To learn more, visit us at poly.com.
So that is what we call our production rules. We're trying to put a little producer inside of a product of this size that enables the far end to never actually touch camera control, never have to do anything. It's all done in the smarts of the system. And this is part of actually, we use a fair amount of training, AI technology to drive this. So let me show you another one about the incredible audio technology we have in these products.
We're here today to show you the Poly Studio X50. I've got one right here, and we're also talking to you on one right now. What we're going to show you is how the unique acoustic chamber design allows everyone in the room to be heard clearly no matter where they're sitting. I'm about 6 feet away.
I'm about 12 feet away. My voice should be heard as clearly as Joe's.
And I'm about 20 feet away. So not only does it make all of our levels the same, but the microphones are so good, you can even hear me whispering all the way at the back of the room. To learn more, visit us at poly.com.
So that's 20 feet away. The audio pickup in the room, you hear them whispering. It's just awesome. The research team has really blown it out of the water with this new technology we're implementing. So this is how we're trying to scale, take complexity out, do either framing, do outstanding audio pickup, do video, all the video compression that you would expect to really raise the bar of what you can do within these platforms. And that's, again, this Poly OS layer that we developed, all of that intelligence is underneath. Then we can stick on top of it teams, and they get the benefit of all of this technology sitting on the platforms themselves. So, closing here, some of the industry feedback. So we started to show these. We've had a lot of users already experiencing the products. Just really outstanding response and reaction to the new products. I strongly would encourage you to come down, check us out at the booth, learn some more. I'll be down there this afternoon from 5 to 7 as well, and we can talk about what directions you guys want to go in and more about what Poly's doing. Thank you.